I'm Mama Kia, and I live in the Sacred Valley of nynke, outside of Cusco, Peru, and I have a home for orphan children. I also have a soup kitchen that feeds 100 children and 40 elderly people. And we also have a yoga retreat center that helps to fund our projects. I lost my parents when I was 12. I lost my whole family. So I know what it's like to be alone and to be without parents, or not to have a family. And I had 5 children of my own, so I was creating a family by having so many children. I know that nowadays people just don't have 5 children. But I did it because I wanted family. And I guess Casa de Milagros is also an extension of that. Now I have 33 beautiful children also, and 9 grandchildren. And so I think that all of those things led me unconsciously. I never really thought, well, I'm going to go and have an orphanage or a home for children. It just kind of unfolded in that way. Okay, well, Casa de Milagros, which is the name of our home for children, was started in memory of my grandson, Chandler Sky. And he died when he was 2 days old. And we decided that we needed to take the love that we had for him and give it to other children. And so I made a trip to Peru. I saw the need for the children there. There was lots of children living on the street, and they were hungry and they were cold. So I went back several times before I started and researched it. I lived there for a year looking for a place to make our home, and we found this 200-year-old house, which was actually a ruin. It looked like a house from the distance, but when we got up close we realized it was pretty much a ruin. And I would go there every day with a girl that I had met on the street, and her name is Patty, and she works with us still. 11 years later, she's still with us. And we started planting seeds in the garden outside. It was dead energy. There was nothing there. It was not a flower, not a tree, nothing green. Everything was brown and dead. There was pigs, there was rats and chickens and all kinds of things in this house. And we would clear a little area and we'd put our seeds in the ground and just planting the seed. And I kept saying, I know if we put the seeds here that something will happen. And within a year we had a contract on the house. And little by little, over the first year we had children arriving. We started out with 5. Then by the end of the year we had 10. And then the next year we had 15. The end of the year we had 20. And it just went on like that. And now we have 33 children. 2 of our children are in college this year, which is a big achievement because those 2 boys that are in college wouldn't have had the chance to even go to school. And one of them graduated first in his class and got a scholarship for college. And so we're really proud about that. But now my life consists of taking care of the 33 children. They know about permaculture gardening. We live in a non-violent communication setting. You can come and you'll never see the children fighting or yelling. People have come and stayed with us for a whole month and never even heard a child cry. So they're happy kids. They're actually very different than most children, I think, because they came from nothing. They're just so happy to have love in their life and food and a home that they're so grateful and so wonderful to be around. Yes, most of all of our children had been physically, emotionally, or sexually abused. They've come through all of that so wonderfully. We don't tell them they've been abused, and so they don't really think about it much. And when I ask them if they remember their life before they came to us, they go, no, my life started here. This is where my life started, was here. We have one boy, his name is Sergio. He's now 17. He's graduating from high school this year. But he came when he was 8.5 years old, and his mother died giving birth to him, and he had quite a few, I think like 15 brothers and sisters, some outrageous number. And when the mother died giving birth to him, he was passed from brother to sister to brother, passed around through the family. But I think they were all angry because their mother died giving birth to him, and so they kind of blamed him for that. And so he was abused by everyone, all of his brothers and sisters, everywhere he went. He had nothing but abuse. And when we found him, he was living in Cusco with his sister, and she actually brought him to us. We didn't find him, but he came to us, and she came and said, "I'm abusing him, and I can't help it, and I need somebody to take him." And his nose was sitting over here. He still is, now is getting his septum redone, where he'd had been beaten so many times and his nose had been broken. But when he came, the only thing he knew when he was angry was to hit. You know, that's all he knew. That's all anybody had ever done to him. And so it took us years of sitting down and teaching him about nonviolent communication, that nobody would ever hit him, that we would never abuse him in that house, and that he would receive everything that he needed, but it wasn't appropriate behavior to hit anymore, that it wasn't necessary. And it took a while for him to get it, but you know, every single time that something happened, we would sit with him and talk to him. And now he's like this great teenager, and he is graduating from high school now, and he's going to be going to college. But he had a really hard start. It was really hard on him. It was hard on us for the first couple of years even, but he got it, and he's this beautiful, healthy teenage boy now. So